3, 2, 1. And we're live.
Welcome to the Mallet and Michelle podcast. This session is now in order. The Right Honorable Michelle Lewis and Steve Mallet in person, live on Instagram. God, I didn't even mess that up. That was pretty good.
Oh my God, you're so embarrassing.
Call the order.
So now I can hear it in my microphone. It's like, zing, zing, zing.
I object, Your Honor.
You don't. What do they say?
You can't handle the truth. That's my day. Actually, that's my whole month so far.
Oh, okay. Mallet.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Love when you're here. Okay, I have good levels. I have stuff to talk about.
I don't know where my cheat sheet is.
You are a mess as normal.
I'm running over it. Yeah, at least we're consistent.
Do you remember who all our sponsors are?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Where'll you be going?
Texas?
Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Go on, make it happen.
And now here's Steve and Michelle.
Welcome to Mallet and Michelle. I am fresh off baby snuggles and grandma duty, and Steve is always looking for the nearest heater, no matter the time of the year. I am lovey Michelle Lewis, and this is shivering Steve Mallet.
It's cold, and it's going to get colder.
I don't like it.
I don't know if this is an age thing I'm going through, but damn, I am always cold. Doesn't matter what I'm wearing.
I don't like it.
Well, welcome to the show, everybody. We want to thank our wonderful sponsors who we could not do the show without. Jovi Belterra, a 55-plus apartment community in Belterra.
Nomic Power Solutions.
South Star Bank.
And Mallet Integrity Team Real Estate.
Thank you to all our sponsors. Our guest today, the Honorable Jason Isacc, former state rep and now the CEO for the American Energy Institute.
He was a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, we've already recorded him. He's a great guy, very, very knowledgeable about all kinds of things, but especially about American energy.
Yeah, I've known Jason a long time, and I just thought it was a lot of fun to be able to pick his brain a little bit, and to hear his professional side, his professional voice.
Yeah,
for sure.
Carrie is our state rep now. His wife Carrie is our state rep now, but we're going to get her on one day too.
There you go. Well,
I have a quick story for all of you bicycle riders that ride electric bicycles.
Oh.
Did you know that was a thing?
Yeah, my son Tate has an electric bicycle in Oregon.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
if he ever comes here and brings it, he cannot ride it in Dripping Springs Ranch Park or Charo Park now.
Oh, really?
Charo
Why is
Ranch
that?
Park. The city council outlawed him in those two parks. They said it was too crowded and people on electric bikes are dangerous on those twisty, windy trails.
Wait, here in
Dripping Springs Ranch Park and Charo Ranch Park, you cannot ride an electric
there's
bicycle
that
anymore.
many people that have them?
It's become a big thing. It's like if you don't really want to get any exercise, you go get an electric bike.
Well, I think that's strange that they would outlaw any type of...
I think they've had some incidents where people have gotten hurt over there, because those electric bikes can go like 20 miles an hour, and if you're out there tooling along on a little trail and somebody comes around a corner, they can take you out. You can still ride them at Founders Park, but your speed shouldn't be no more than 10 miles an hour.
I mean, I'm all for following the rules and stuff, but what are they going to do? Trace you down on their bicycle?
I don't know.
I mean,
I guess they'll give you a ticket. I don't know. That's a good question.
the bicycle police are going to come after you?
The bicycle police will come and get you. So, hey, you mentioned it in your intro. You have had a huge life change in this last week.
Yes, my precious, precious little princess Navy Tate was born February 10th at 3:45 in the afternoon after a long laboring mama.
Yeah.
Poor Kendall, but she came out smashingly. I love it. And I came off cooking and cleaning and feeding and changing diapers, and I took care of the dogs, and I went grocery shopping. But more than anything, it was very, very humbling, but it honestly, it healed a part of me that I never thought could have ever been healed.
Really?
It was really cool. My mom's been gone 20 years, and so my kids, for the most part, grew up without a grandparents, except Todd's mom. She's still alive, but
Yeah.
she's wasn't that involved like my grandmother or my mother was. And it was really cool. It was really cool to be able to pass that down, especially because she's a girl and I'm a girl and my daughter's a girl, and to kind of see
I'm sure
that.
it wouldn't make any difference if it was
No.
a boy, but she is cute. Little Navy is cute.
well,
she came out really nice. She came out.
a full head of hair.
Yeah.
She came out looking
I
like
think
I
I
did.
won that bet. I think you were saying you thought she was going to be bald.
No, I thought she was going to have hair. I
Okay,
think
because
Kendall-
I said hair.
Yeah, well, she looks like Kendall when she was a baby, and she
Yeah.
looks like myself when she was a baby. But there was a picture that Kendall took of me holding her, and for the first time ever in my entire life, I saw my mom in that
Aw.
picture. It kind of actually startled me
Yeah.
a little bit because it was weird. It was like my mom was being channeled in there. But more than anything, it's really neat. I guess. If you are a parent of a sassy 15, 16, 17-year-old that thinks they know it all, I'm here to testify and say that they can come out the other side. She has an amazing husband, and it is just such a blessing to be able to see what a wonderful mama she is.
It's very cool.
It really is. And I think there was couple of things that really sat with me. The first one was how much first Kendall has her own way of doing things, and I respect that 100%.
Well, you got to let them do that.
Yeah, and I told her, I said, you're going to figure it out. And then the second one is how much she trusts me with Navy.
Aw.
And so
Well, of course she does.
well, yeah, but it's her first baby. It's
I
her
know,
first
but
child.
still,
And
of course she does.
And all the rules, everything's different now, Steve.
Yeah.
Like everything that you and I
Because
did.
TikTok said so,
Yeah.
Michelle.
Everything that you and I think we did right. But let me tell you, day two, day three, I don't know, time warp. I kind of, through sleep.
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
I'm sure it just all blended together.
The deal was I was sleeping on the couch, and then that night I went and slept in the upstairs bedroom, and I said, just come get me when you need me. 3:00 in the morning. Knock on the door, and I'm like startled out of sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And I see Jacob there holding Navy, and he has his arms outstretched, and he goes, please take her.
She won't stop crying. Was she crying?
She was fussy.
Oh.
I took her, I changed her, and she laid in bed with me for 4 hours.
Oh,
So she loved Navy.
Oh,
Loved her
that's so
illness.
cool.
Yeah, and so we just hung out and we TikToked. I used her toe as to scroll through TikTok, but I was kidding.
You're starting her out young. That's actually a great segue to my story. Are you done with that
I
one?
am.
Yeah.
I
So
am.
now that you're a new grandma, you have to keep up on all the latest child lingo, which is, believe it or not, is changing faster than ever before because of social media.
Well, I found out that she will be Gen Beta.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
that's
that.
her. So I'm Gen X. You're Boomer. Gen
Yeah.
Beta. By the way, happy belated birthday. Your birthday was
Yes,
Friday,
thank
so.
you. Yeah, it was a good one. 62, and I'm just, except for
What?
being cold, I don't feel too bad. So, so there's a bunch of new lingo coming out, and thanks to social media, is you put something on TikTok, it goes viral. You're using some new word, and then all of a sudden, all the kids are using it. Well, parents are reporting that they're having a really hard time keeping up with all the new ones. And they come and go. It's not like, the old days,
Yeah.
like cool. How long was cool around for? Like 10 years,
Yeah, it's not cool anymore.
It's not cool anymore. Well, another one that's not cool anymore that was cool for, I guess, 5 or 6 years was bruh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
I
one's
hated
dead.
that one.
So don't use bruh anymore. So not that you ever did.
Never used it.
Okay, here's a couple that have been throwing parents
Okay,
in,
let me see if
kind
I've
of
heard any of
sideways.
them.
Mewing.
Yeah, I've heard of mewing.
Do you know what it is?
No, I don't know what mewing is, but I have heard of
It's
it.
when you look in a mirror and you make a mewing noise, like mew, like that. It's
Well-
supposed to enhance your jawline.
Mew.
Like, it's probably the new version of duck lips. Remember duck lips from like 5 years ago when everybody's taking pictures?
Well, that's kind of where I was. Navy does duck lips when she takes a picture.
Well, of course she does.
That's where when you say T-mew, That's right.
Team Mew. Team Mew. It's enhancing my jawline. How about Giga Chad?
No.
So Chad used to be a word for a gentleman that was really hot.
Yeah, like a bruh.
Yeah, like a hot bruh. Giga Chad is an exceptionally handsome man.
Okay.
So,
Giga Chad.
Yeah, like all the examples that I saw online were all AI generated. None of them were real. Like muscles everywhere on top of muscles. And anyway, so that's Giga Chad.
Disgusting. Who likes to look at that?
So I saw this one and I thought, oh, I know what that is. Baddie.
Well, I mean, you're a baddie.
Like,
right?
what does it mean though?
I mean, you're
Like a bad guy?
no, like you're cool. I mean,
See, when I read it, I thought baddie, like, oh, that's a criminal or ne'er-do-well. It actually means the female version of a Giga Chad.
oh,
Like a woman that's really hot
okay.
is a baddie.
Okay.
How about Betamaxing?
No.
Have you ever heard of that?
I mean, no, I haven't.
That's when
I've
we're
heard
in
of
a
those
group.
words, but I've never heard of them put
You have
together.
seen this in action, actually.
Okay.
We're in a group of people, and there's one person that is saying negative things about you to make themselves look better.
Oh.
That's Betamaxing.
Oh, then I fight them later.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
and you always win.
Yeah.
So, how about Sigma and Omega?
I have heard of that. That's been used on TikTok a lot. Aside from the fraternity sororities.
No, this
but
is
it's like the
Omega is you're lower than cool, like the lowest cool you can be, and Sigma is when you think you're the best.
Yeah, I've heard it. That's probably in the context I've heard.
Yeah. So for you as grandma, when Navy comes over and talks to you, she'll say things to you, and you'll have to wonder: is she complimenting you or making fun of you?
She's always going to be complimenting me because I'm going to be the favorite grandmother.
I don't know.
am determined.
She might call you a baddie and mean
No.
it the other way.
No, she's going to.
You're being baddie.
She's not going to talk for 2 more years, and so I have enough time to. All of this stuff will change, anyways. So.
Yeah, by the time she's on social media, there'll be a whole new AI generated language that we'll all have to get used to.
You know what's funny? Okay, the whole conversation about like grandparents' names. So Jacob's mom, we were like, "Oh, hello, grandma," and we're like, "What's your grandma name?" She goes, "I don't want to be grandma." I'm like, well, you have to have a name. And she said, well, it doesn't matter. She's going to pick my name out for you anyways. And Kendall and I were of the argument, you have to pick a name in order for them to butcher the name.
Otherwise, you may get a terrible name.
Yeah.
You want to pick one out before they get to it. Yeah.
Kendall picked my name. She picked Lovey.
Lovey.
So,
I think that's a great one.
Lovey. It's Lovey-Dovey
Yeah.
and Navy Bean. So
Navy Bean.
Navy Bean.
Yeah. She'll like that until she's about 7.
Oh, Lord.
Don't call me that anymore.
That's
So,
okay. That's okay. Whatever. Man, a lot happened while I was gone.
Yeah, you weren't kidding.
Dude, I felt like I was in a time warp when we were at the hospital or being home. We're like, what day is it? You know, I totally forgot about all of that. You just suddenly I became a hockey fan too. I never knew I was going to be a hockey fan either. You know, you heard about
Tell
that
me,
whole...
I just saw an Instagram post, so I don't know exactly what happened.
So the America's team was playing against Canada,
Right.
and when they played our national anthem, they all booed. And they were saying horrible, despicable things about America, and I guess they're all pissed off about the tariffs and whatever. And the USA totally kicked their butts.
Oh.
And so whatever.
Well, I heard kick their butts in the game, but also kick their butts and there were a lot of fights.
There were a lot of fights. There was a lot of stuff. So, you know, whatever. But on that subject, this whole DOGE thing that's going on, I'm just
been
fascinated.
fascinating, hasn't it?
Well, it's fascinating and it's disgusting. And I find myself living in a state of like insane anger over all of the waste that has been going on. Just total insane anger. And I know some of these probably since I did my research last week before I left. And so some of them have been kind of adjusted.
There's
but
been a lot unearthed in the
a lot
last
has
week.
happened. But these are some of the funniest ones that I found at the time I did this access or research. And what I thought was like really funny is like, why are people so mad at Elon and his autistic superheroes about finding all of this waste? I don't understand. But I mean, you have autism in your family. I have autism in my family, and I think it's
there's a reason for it. There's a whole system set up to support the
Money laundering?
It is basically money laundering. There's a whole system set up where they pay money to people who then donate to the parties that they want to keep in power. And so they use government money. They say they're not, but they employ people with similar political beliefs who will support projects that they want to be involved in. So the money just keeps that party in power. It is a giant scam.
It's a giant government circle jerk is what it is.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Well, I've watched my brother for years fight with the VA. You and I are, at some point, we're going to, hopefully there'll be money for Social Security. We watched the North Carolina floods and the California fires and the Hawaiian fires. And so here's what they're spending your money on. So far, I saw that they were spending $3 million to see how fast a shrimp can run on a treadmill.
Is that true?
Yes, it is. Okay, $1.4 million went to the National Bubble Wrap Stress Relief Program. I volunteer for that one.
Yeah.
So $2.5 million went for electric vehicles in Vietnam. Okay. $6 million went for Egyptian tourism. I don't know. This one, I was like, this one made me scratch my head. $20 million went for the Sesame Street programs in Iraq.
I don't get it. What does that do to maybe somebody's arguing that promotes American values in Iraq. I
don't know. But $500,000 to see if selfies will make you happy. I mean, I would do it for $100,000 at least. And $2.3 million for an balloon animal training academy. Yes, true. So we are taxed on what we earn, we are taxed on what we buy, and we are taxed on what we own.
Yep.
And this is insanity. And I'm sorry, but if you're ticked off about anyone finding waste in our government, then maybe eyes need to be on you, because the people that are screaming are the ones that are probably guilty.
There's the whole thing really drives me nuts. What's being uncovered is, like you said, it's very unsettling. Thought that we send all this money up there to Washington and they spend it this way. There are, our country needs a national defense. There's some things that our government does and does fairly well. There's some things our country is just blowing money on, they're just giving it out in thick wads to whoever just asks for it.
I don't know if you saw the speech yesterday, or was it yesterday or day before yesterday, that J.D. Vance did in Europe. And they are ticked. And so, I'm sorry, Germany. Why are you mad that my tax dollars aren't going to, they have more eyes on it? Let's say that we're not turning the faucet completely off, right?
Well,
but we are watching. More eyes are on this. Yeah.
Well, one of the biggest ones for me is I can't remember, some billions of dollars that went to Ukraine that nobody can account for.
Well,
you were talking, everything you talked about began with an M, for millions. There are billions of dollars. If you want to know how much $1 billion is, look at how big is $1 billion. If it shows you a stack of money, it's like pallets and pallets of money. $1 billion is so freaking much money. They can't account for it.
Well, I'm sure they can account for it.
And I'll tell you what, if you don't tell the IRS about that $473 that your friend sent you on Venmo, they'll come after you. But God forbid they lose $1 billion.
Well, I hear Zelensky's wife is driving a really nice Mercedes, and they just bought a mansion in Miami. So maybe they need to look there.
I wish DOGE and Elon Musk all the best in finding out where all this abuse, fraud, and waste and abuse
Did you see his son, X, in the White House in the Oval Office, picking his nose, and right on the Resolute desk, he was kind of
No way. That's good.
Get a little.
It's good. Bring some humanity to something like that. To the oligarchy that's been up there in Washington. So, weddings. Oh. You've had 3. I've got one coming up in April with Colton, which I'm excited about. Weddings getting more and more expensive, right?
Weddings are, and it's funny because I knew you were going to talk about weddings today, and we had Jason Isacc on, and Carrie Isaac just filed HCR 58 and was redesignating Dripping Springs as the wedding capital
awesome.
of Texas.
That's great.
So that's really cool. I guess I didn't know that they had to redesignate. That was kind of
I think it's
confusing to me.
something that falls away if you don't do it. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
Well, so I don't know what the average cost of a wedding is in Dripping Springs, but if you do a cheap one, it's what, 15 grand, maybe 20 for a cheap one?
I spent 50 for Kindle.
Well, I know, yeah, so exactly, it makes my point. In Las Vegas, Taco Bell has a new wedding plan that they're offering at their, it's one of the places on the, no, it's a Taco Bell on the Strip. So you get, it's a wedding package for guests that includes a Vegas Elvis impersonator.
Ooh, and Taco Bell?
Yes, Vegas showgirls, and of course tacos. Takes place at the Taco Bell Cantina on the Strip. You can have up to 25 guests.
Uh-huh.
It comes with a taco 12-pack and Cinnabon Delights and alcohol at Taco Bell. I didn't even know they would do that. The bride can walk down the aisle with a bouquet of Taco Bell's signature mild and hot sauce packets.
That's pretty funny.
Which you don't get to keep. You got to give it back. I guess they reuse it. You can't keep the bouquet. It comes with some wedding swag, including just married teas and champagne, all for the very Vegas price of, want to take a guess?
Per person or total?
Total.
I would say $1,000.
$777. Triple sevens.
777.
Yep. Well, I don't know what can be more Vegas than that.
I think Kendall would have been mortified. Tate and Logan probably would have loved it.
You know what? I mean, okay. Hear me out. $20,000 for a wedding.
I tried that.
No, but I'm saying
I tried to give her $20,000 cash.
If you're out there and you're 25 years old, I'm not saying this to you, Colton. I wish we're gonna have a great wedding. But I mean, like, take that money and start your life off. There's so much you can do with that money.
I will give you $20,000, but you know what? Her wedding was beautiful.
It was beautiful. All of your kids' weddings were beautiful. I get that. It's just so much money.
Yeah. You know how much I spent on my wedding? My wedding was maybe $2,000. Of course, in 1993. How much do you think your first wedding? How much do you think your in-laws spent on that wedding?
Oh gosh, it was probably 10 grand.
Holly and I then?
Yeah, Holly and I spent $5,000. I mean, it probably wasn't 10 grand. I don't know. That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But Holly and I spent $5,000 on ours, and it certainly wasn't fancy by any measure.
No, and that was COVID. You were smack dab in the middle of COVID too.
Like right at the beginning of COVID. But I'm sure, you pay your $777 there at Taco Bell. Maybe if you give them an extra $50, they'll let you keep the hot sauce bouquet.
Maybe. You were having your own super spreader event, weren't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, there was a lot of people that were a little standoffish. They're like, yeah, we wish you the best, but we're not coming over there.
Can you imagine that conversation with Holly and like, hey, babe, we're going to have our wedding at Taco Bell, $777. Yeah.
I was thinking about, this is probably not good, but you having Taco Bell food at your wedding, and then what's your wedding night look like when you're sleeping with your bride?
Yeah,
and
probably not.
It's like, I don't think that's going to be a nice honeymoon night.
No, probably maybe a smelly honeymoon.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not a good way to kick off a marriage, but
for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, hey. That was good. We kept it right on our time here. We got to get Jason Isacc in here.
Yeah.
Talk about the American Energy Institute. So let's take a little break, and we'll be right back with Jason Isacc. All right. Very good. That was perfect.